Hi everybody, my name is Gail Picillo. Welcome to an all levels yoga class. Please remember that if a pose does not work for you, to feel free to take child's pose or anything along that lines that feel good for you. This is your practice, so let's enjoy the time together. First, we're going to come down in a comfortable seated position. You can sit cross-legged if you wish. If you have a block at home, you can even sit on a block. I sit Sukhasana, easy pose, but you're welcome to extend your legs if that feels better for you. You can even kneel. And then finding a nice long spine. So we're going to lift from the heart, roll the shoulders down, your chin slightly tucks, reach through the crown of the head. Let your hands rest on your thigh and make like a little OK symbol. So you're going to press it down and rest. Breathing deeply here, coming through the nostrils and exhaling out, ideally through the nostrils, but you can exhale out the mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Good, continue to breathe like that. I always bring a little theme into my yoga classes. And one of the things I was thinking about the other day was about how we're afraid sometimes to make a change in our lives. And that we're like these potted plants, and sometimes we've outgrown the pot that we're in. And it gets scary to be repotted into a new pot, so to speak. But this kind of change is important for us to grow. So in yoga, what we do is we get into poses that are uncomfortable. And what we do is we learn to breathe through the uncomfortability so that we can take and train that ourselves with that uncomfortability and letting ourselves get comfortable with uncomfortability, and we take that training off the mat and into the world. So when it's time to make that change in your life, that you step forward with courage, understanding that it might be uncomfortable, but that you will navigate it, always coming back to the breath. And now let your arms rise on up. Inhale, lift up from the heart. Palms are going to touch at the top. As you exhale, pull hands through heart center. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen, lift up. Palms kiss at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more time, please. Lift on up. Palms kiss at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good job. Now from here, we're going to lift up. Take your right hand down. Left hand's going to reach up and over your head, lengthening through the side body. Good. Now rise on up, lengthen up, lift from the heart, and then coming down the other way, reaching up and over, softly, softly through your side body here. Inhale, rise up. We're going to do that again. Right hand comes down. Now don't let that left hip pop up. Find that length and breathe deeply. Good. And then rise up on the inhale and exhale. Come on down the other way. Nice. Now inhale, come up center here. We're going to cactus the arms, so squeeze through the shoulder blades. Good, and then inhale, lengthen forward as if you were going to give somebody a hug you haven't seen for a while. And then pull it back, squeeze through the shoulder blades. Good, here we go. Come forward, pull it back. Good, again, forward, and pull back. Nicely done. Let the arms rise on up. Palms are going to kiss at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. I want to work in the hips a little bit today, and a little bit of the back. So let's swing our legs around and come into tabletop position. Now hands come underneath the shoulders and knees come underneath the hips. When you're in tabletop, notice if your back arches. Pull the abdomen in and press away from the earth. And then I like to curl my toes under for cow pose. We lift the tailbone up. And as you exhale, tops of the feet come to the floor, round the spine like cat. Tuck the chin in and tuck the pelvis. Good. Inhale, lift up, and exhale. Good. 1 more time, please. Inhale, and exhale. Nicely done. Now come to a neutral spine. I'd like you to curl your toes under. Keep your hips over your knees, and walk your hands forward into what's called puppy dog pose. Now the head comes between the arms, and then the forehead might reach the ground. If it does, allow it to do so. Heart is going towards the earth. Now if you don't have any cervical spine issues, you can bring your chin forward and even to the ground and press the heart towards the earth. Now my toes are curled under, so I can press my feet in the earth and press the heart down a little bit more. Now if you want to add more sensation, you press the arms into the earth. This is opening up your thoracic spine. from here, I'd like you to slide forward and coming into what's called Sphinx pose. So the arms are parallel, legs are extended. Then I'll turn forward so you can actually see what it looks like. Arms are parallel. And we look up like you're looking out over the horizon. Good. Breathing here. Good. Take one more breath, please. And as you exhale, I'd like you to come on down and want you to TP out your fingertips. So you're making like little cups with your hands. And then let the head drop. Then inhale, peel up. Your head is going to come up last. Lift. And exhale, come back down. Good. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift. And exhale, back down. Good. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Take the hands underneath the shoulder. Come into tabletop. Nice. And then curl the toes under. We're lifting up and back to our first downward dog. So your feet are about hip width distance. We press back a little bit, spinal lengthening, and extend up. Now, I walk my feet in just a smidge. In order to get that lengthening in the spine where you let the head go, come up onto the tippy toes for a moment, bend the knees, and try and press your hands in the earth. Try and press your chest on your find that length. And then lengthen out the leg. Keep that length and let the heels drop down. It's okay if your heels don't touch the earth. Right now I'm a little tight myself, so that happens. Good. Take a breath here. Let the head go. If you have trouble letting the head go, tuck the chin into the chest. That will help you at least start the process, and then you can soften. Gently walk your feet to your hands. And pause here in what's called ragdoll. So you can grab opposite elbows and the knees can be soft. You can even bend the knees a lot. You don't want the hamstrings to stop you from releasing your lower back. Let the head go. Ragdoll can also be with loose arms if that feels better for you. I like to make a little box around my head, and I make sure I drop the head. Again, try not to look at the earth, let the head go. Releasing the arms, slowly roll up one vertebra at a time, tucking the pelvis, lifting all the way up, and the arms can rise up with you. As you bring the palms together, exhale, hands to heart center. Good. And then inhale, let your arms rise on up. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Halfway lift on the inhale, stepping back into high plank. Now, high plank, the shoulders are over the wrists. So notice if your tush is sticking up. Shift the weight forward and engage your quadriceps. Neck is long and it's as if the back of the head is reaching up towards the ceiling. Now the knees can come down or stay lifted. I'll bring it down for the first one. And shift the weight forward. Rub the ribcage with the elbows, so try not to let your elbows come out wide as you sink on down. The tops of the feet come to the floor. Lock elbows in. Inhale, lift up either in cobra. So cobra is only like 10% pressure. My hands can even lift off the earth. Or upward dog. Now upward dog, the arms extend, but I want you to pay attention to my feet. They're still flat, and the quads and shins lift off the earth. Hips are down. We squeeze through the shoulder blade and reach to the crown of the head. And then we can come through tabletop and return to downward dog. So that's your vinyasa. Now you can always skip the vinyasa and come right from plank to downward dog. So either here we go, we come forward into plank, and then you can just shift right back into downward dog. Or you can come forward into plank, bring the knees down or keep them lifted. Come forward, halfway or all the way down. Tops of the feet on the floor, cobra or upward dog. And exhale, coming into downward dog. Breathe deeply here. Okay, let the right leg rise up to the sky. Find length here, and I'd like you to take the right knee and bend the knee and open up. I always like to describe it like a dog being on a hydrant. And then you're going to take this right knee and bring it to the right tricep, squeeze in. Come on back and stack the hip. Good, right knee to right tricep. And one more time, back and stack. Come forward here and bring the knee down to the earth. Bring that left knee down. So this right knee is coming right out from the hip, and I'm going to descend my body all the way down. So this right leg is about a 90-degree angle, and you can feel that right hip. It's opening up, and it's pretty intense if you have tight hips. Good, let's take a breath. You can rest if you want. Work that right hip down. Now see if you can bring this right foot to meet the left extended leg. So this is like tree pose when we're standing. And I want you to realize how much of a hip opener tree pose is. Good. Let's take the hands underneath the shoulders. For some of you like a challenge, you can keep your foot in tree and come up into high plank. For some of you who don't like that challenge, feel free to extend the leg long. So either we lift up in tree pose, or you can extend the leg long. And what I'd like you to do is take this right leg back and up and step the right foot outside the right hand. So once you do so, you want to open up the foot at an angle. I'm just going to show you from the front. The foot opens at an angle. Back knee can stay lifted, and we're going to make some circles with this right knee. Just getting into the hip a little bit. So we'll circle it up and circle the other way. Good. Now gently come on down here, and remember this right foot's open at an angle. And from here, you can stabilize on your left hand, and the right hand can come on the inner thigh, and notice how I'm rolling on the knife edge of my foot. You don't have to. My mom doesn't like to roll on her foot, so, if it's not comfortable for you, don't do it. But we're just opening up that hip a little bit more. Good. When you're done, bring the foot flat and return the right hand down. Now my hands are going to come underneath my shoulders. I'm going to bend the elbows and look at that right shin and press back up. It's like a little lizard push-up. Bend and press up. One more time, please. Bend and press up. Good job. Now charge your chest forward, and that might be enough. But maybe you're super flexible and you want to come to the forearms. Maybe you have a block and you come to a block. Wherever you are, just honor the body where it's at. Good. Take another breath, please. Good. And then gently come back up here. We're going to take that right hand outside the foot and straighten out that right foot. You're going to shift the weight back and lift up the front toes. From the side, it looks like this. Now notice if your hip goes way beyond the knee. If it does, walk your foot forward a little bit. Want to get into that hamstring? And can you flex from the pinky side edge, please? Good. Nice. Now we're going to come forward here. Right knee is over right ankle, lifting up the back toe. Back foot's going to turn flat, 45-degree angle. So it's pointing to, I would guess, about 7 o'clock. This front heel intersects with the mid-curve of the back foot, and we rise, leading the left arm up into Warrior 2. So Warrior 2 is a hip opener. So feel free to straighten out that front leg for a moment, turn your hips slightly to the side, and re-bend into that front right knee. Then take your adductor, so this is the muscle outside your thigh, and track the knee out to the pinky toe. So when you look down, you should be able to see your big toe. Now, not everybody can get down into this 90-degree angle. Make sure this back foot doesn't pop up, and that's okay. This is flexation of the hip and the strength of the quad. It's a lot of work. Arms rise up into a T position, and the gaze is at the front tip of your middle finger. So the arms are strong. Back arm isn't dropping, right? Nice strong arms. Relax the shoulders down. Open up the front palm. I want you to lift up and back. Feel that peaceful warrior. So when we lift up and then back, did you come out of the front leg? Sink back down again. Good. And then come back up. What I'd like you to do is take this right elbow down, rest it, and then take this left arm, cross it under in front of the body, and bend the elbow and rotate from the torso. Open up your body. Good. We're going to do that 2 more times. Down and around and lift, and we open. Good. One more time. Down and around, and we lift, and we open. Good. Now rise on up. Nice. Now what I'd like you to do is turn your toes to the side of the mat. So if I was coming to you forward here, my toes would turn to the side of the mat. And then from there, straighten out your legs and pigeon toe your feet, meaning your toes are pointing towards each other. Arms come out to a T position. If it's too much to forward fold with arms in a T position, bring your hands to your hips. Pull the abdomen in and forward fold, come on down. Now you're welcome to bring your hands to the floor, to the body. You can grab the heels, but let the head go wherever you are. Opening up those hamstrings. Good. And then from here, I'd like you to take the hands underneath your shoulders and turn the heels in and toes out. We're rising up into what's called goddess pose. So you sink down, the pelvis tucks, and the arm rises up into these cactus arms. The knee is tracking out towards the big toes. So from the side, nice opening, lifting here, squeeze through the shoulder blades. From here, we come into a 5-pointed star. So expand out, and sink back down. Good, expand, sink back down, expand, and sink back down. Now really feel those hips open, sink down. Good, good, good. Come back up. Good, let's turn that foot forward and coming forward. Now straight leg, like a warrior 2 stance, but it might be a little bit long for you. So pop the back foot in a little bit. Arms are up to a T position. Open up the front palm, lift up and back. So this is an elongated reverse triangle. And then I'd like you to come on up and reach forward as if you're lengthening for, I always say, grabbing a cookie. Right hand down, left arm rises. Now, was it hard for you to bring your left hand up? If so, take the left arm, cross it in front of the body, and rotate it open. Find length. Good. Notice how my hand is not on the ground. You know, if I brought my hand on the ground, my tush would stick out. I'm looking for length, like bringing my body between 2 panes of glass. So I'm not there with that flexibility. So my hand hovers, or you can bring it to a block. Breathe. If you want to work a little bit more, take this right hand forward. Woo! If you want to work a little bit more, take this left arm forward. Well, there's your obliques. Good. Take a breath. Soften this front knee. Bring your hands down to frame the front foot. And step back into high plank. Then the knees can come down or lifted. Chaturanga. Remember, you can skip this. Cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing deeply here. Good. Nice. Now let's lift up that left leg. Left leg rises up. Bend the knee and stack the hip. Good. Now don't let the standing leg twist in it. Right foot stays parallel to the outside edge of the mat. Take the left knee to the left tricep. Squeeze it in. Good. Come on back. And left knee in and bring it on down. Good. Let that back knee come down. We're coming all the way down. This is where we started. Now this left knee is directly out from the left hip, and we're working that 90-degree angle. You can come all the way down if that feels better for you, and melt here. Breathe deeply. See if you can work that left hip down to the earth a little bit more. You've got this. Good. And then from here, take this left foot and bring it towards the right leg. Now notice I'm starting to curl my right toe under. Taking the hands, and we're in tree pose. Bring it underneath the shoulder. We're going to step back into high plank. You can try it with tree pose or just step back in high plank. We press up, maybe lift up into tree, woo! And then step back high plank and come into downward facing dog. Left leg is going to rise up again and step the left foot outside the left hand. Now the left foot opens up at an angle, and we start to make those hip circles. Good. Circle one way and circle the other. Nice. And then we pause here. Good. Take a breath. The back knee is going to come down. Now again, that left foot is open. Now we're going to bend the elbow straight back. Right cheek comes to the earth. Look at that left shin and press back up. Come down and press back up. One more time. Down and press back up. Good. Now you can stabilize on the right hand and take the left hand on the inside and then roll onto that left foot if you want and press away. Breathe. It's a big hip opener. Lizard. And then bring the foot flat. Left hand comes down. Now notice, are you leaning to the right a little bit? Center up your body. Even maybe lean towards the bent knee just a little bit. And then maybe you come down to the forearms if you wish. It can be quite intense. Breathing here. How's your breath? Can you calm the body? Nostril breathing. Good. I know it's uncomfortable. Now gently come back up on the hands if you're not on the hands. Take the left hand outside the left foot and straighten out that left foot. And let's shift the weight back and lift up the front toes. So notice my hands slide back a little bit, but I'm still lengthening my heart forward. When I'm flexing my foot, I'm flexing from the pinky side edge. It's easy to flex from the big toe, but the pinky side edge will get your Achilles. Make sure the hip is over the knee. You can see I'm a little bit beyond, so I'm going to move forward just a little bit. Good. Good job. Now we're going to come forward here. Hands stabilize down. Curl the back toe under, lift up the back knee. Back foot flat. Get ready for warrior two. So front heel, mid-curve intersection. Lead with the right arm up and open into warrior two. Okay, good job, folks. Now remember, it's a hip opener. Track that knee out and sink on down. Press into the back foot, and the back foot is pointing to about 5 o'clock. Okay, now open up the front palm. Stay low in that front leg. Lift up and back. Whew, breathe here. Good. Now rise on up. Let's let the left elbow rest. Peel the right arm up by here. Bend the elbow and rotate open. Good. We're going to do 2 more of those. Come down and around. Lift up. Now bend the and use your core. Twist into it. One more time. Down and around. Lift and twist. Good work. Now rise on up. Here we go. We're going to straighten out. Turn those toes to the side again. And then arms to a T or hip. Come on down again. Lengthen your spine. Crown of the head towards the earth. Breathe. Good, good, good. I like to roll my weight slightly forward on the balls of the feet. My feet are flat still on the earth. It's just a shifting of the weight. Just to get a little more length in my spine. Then the hands come underneath the shoulders, heels in, toes out. We lift into goddess pose. Sink down and lift, goddess. Whew. 5-pointed star, inhale. Exhale. Good. Lift. Can you squeeze through those shoulder blades? Good. Lift. And down. One more. Lift. Hold it down. Sink. Hold, 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 hold. Breathe. Now 5-pointed star, keep the legs straight, arms to a T position, and turn that left foot forward. Okay, so now we're in triangle stance. My stance is a little long, I can feel my body reaching, so I'm going to just step my back foot in just a little bit. Reach up and back, keep that front leg straight, lengthening the body. Good, as you come forward here, lengthen forward, reach, 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 left hand down, right arm rises. Feel that triangle pose. Folks, take one more breath, please. You're going to rise back up here. Let's soften that front knee. Good. And then bringing the hands to heart center. See if you can lift up on the back heel and step forward. Nice. Now that we have our hips opened up a bit here, I'll get more into the back at another time. Don't worry, we'll have other videos ahead for you. I'd like you to work on tree pose. So this is a balance challenge and it's a hip opener. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our left foot, and there's different levels. Take the left foot and you can come into kickstand. The foot is still on the ground and we open up the hips. The hands can stay at heart center. Or you can bring the foot below the knee, never on the knee, okay? Never ever on the knee. The foot presses in the leg and the leg presses in the foot. We're still opening up the knee. For the higher level, this left foot comes up higher on the thigh, and we press the foot in the leg and the leg in the foot. And again, the knee opens up, the hips are opening up, hands to heart center. Now find a single point focus. You're welcome to use a wall as well, just to try this out. And then maybe expand your branches up. This rooting down in life and lifting up. We're like the plant that's grown out of the pot, and we're expanding and changing, right? Yes, back to that theme of expanding and growing and changing in life. It sure is a little wobbly. We figure it out. Hands back to heart. Bring that knee forward and release down. Good, shake it out, and especially shake out any thoughts in your head that was like, or I used to be able to do this, or maybe you're like, I was awesome at it. Either way, let it go. Tree pose, I mean, it's just yoga, right? We're just finding what our body can do. We're breathing through it, and we're finding how to navigate through some uncomfortable postures. So here we go. We're going to stabilize now on the left leg, and the right leg is going to come up. So you can kickstand the leg. It can be below, or it can be above. And then hands can come to prayer at heart center. Now remember, foot is never on the knee. So even if my foot slipped to my knee, I would go below my knee. I would adjust. And then lift from the heart. So there's a lengthening of the spine. And then we extend the arms out if you want. You can play. What kind of tree would you be? Are you weeping willow? I'm just kidding. Wherever you are, reach, reach, reach. Lift from the heart. Then the hands come back to heart center, knee comes forward, and release down. Good times, right? Let's lift up, inhale, exhale, forward fold over the legs. Halfway lift on the inhale, and step back into high plank, and bring your knees down. Let's swing our legs around and bring them forward. Flexing from the pinky toe, take your hands down by the side, press in the earth. Find length in your spine. Lift from the heart and engage your core. Let the arms rise up, lengthen your spine, and come forward and down. Now you might not reach your feet. You might reach your legs. And if you do, you reach your legs, then bring your hands underneath the legs so that you can have some leverage to pull forward and lengthening your back. You can even have a micro bend in the knees. Maybe you're somebody who can grab the feet or even interlace the hands around the bottom. Maybe you prefer what's called a yogic toe lock. These fingers wrap around big toe and pull in. Wherever you are, find what works for you. Good work, folks. Nice. Now come on up, and let's bring the soles of the feet together. So we're pulling it in. Now as you pull the feet in, if it's hard for you to pull your feet in, you can bring your hands down, lift your glutes up, and bring them up and closer to your feet. And from here, I always like to open up your feet like a book. Now you can grab the feet, your ankles, or your shin, whatever works for you. But the little trick here is to engage the glutes. So once you engage your glutes, tighten them up a bit, it opens the hips just a little bit. You can see I'm relaxed, and then I engage, and it opens me up. Then lengthen the heart forward. So find that length in your spine before you let the head drop. So I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm talking about. I don't just drop into this. I'm lengthening my heart forward first and then dropping. Breathing here. Let the head go once you find your point. Ooh. Good stuff for the body. Deeply breathe. One more breath in. Good, now come on up. I'd like you to extend the legs. Come onto your back, please. And pull the right knee immediately into your chest. So hug it in. And then what I'd like you to do is take your hands and interlace them behind the hamstring. And extend the foot straight up to the sky. Now flex the foot. If there's any pull on the back knee, please bend the knee slightly. You don't want any pull. We're just trying to wake up that hamstring. Now, what I'd like us to do is we're going to come into an upside down lizard or a half happy baby. So you're going to bend this right knee, and the right hand is going to try and grab that outside of that right foot. If it doesn't get there, you can always take the right hand to the hamstring, but the knee's bending towards the armpit hollow. If you're somebody who is really easily open in the hips, you can take the right hand on the inside of the calf, wrap it around the back side of the calf, and grab the foot that way. This left leg is long, and try and engage it here. Ooh, it's really intense. Good. From here, you're going to release and hug the knee back in from the shin. Take your left hand to the knee, right arm comes out to a T position, and cross the leg across the body. Now, if it doesn't bother you, feel free to look over that right arm. If it does bother your neck, you can look up at the ceiling. I'm going to look over my right arm so that I can sit. And then we just soften here, breathing deeply. You've got this. How's your breath? Can you let go a little bit more? So a little trick that I use is I bring my mind's eye to where I feel tension. And I imagine creating space by imagining like a balloon creating space there in that tense area. And then as I exhale, I relax in that space. Good. Now gently come back through center. Hug that right knee in. Let the right leg go long. Reach through the fingertips and toes. Deep inhale. As you exhale, you're going to pull the left knee in. So I'm going to just change my directions on the mat here. Hug this left knee in. Good, and then take the hands and interlace them behind the hamstring and extend that foot up. Flex the foot. Notice if you're having any moment of where you're feeling a pull in the back of the knee. Add a micro bend if that's the case. Good, and then from there, we're coming into that half happy baby. So we're going to bend the knee. You can hold it just like that, or the left hand's going to grab the outside of this left foot. It can be quite intense. If you have really flexible hips, this left hand can come on the inside of the calf, wrap around the backside, and grab the outside of the foot. And just feel that opening. Breathe here. Good, and then let's take that knee back in and interlace the hands over the shin. Let's guide this leg across the body, left arm out to a T position. And remember, if it doesn't bother you, look out over that left arm. So some people like to stack the hip and the shoulder might pop up. That's me. And then I like to use my back muscles to work the shoulder down. But maybe you're somebody who would prefer to keep your shoulder down and let the legs slowly melt to the earth. Either way, it's not incorrect. Breathing here. Good. And then when you are ready, gently come back through center. Hug the knee into the chest. Let the leg go long on the mat. Reach through the fingertips and toes. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. We're coming into Shavasana. Now, traditional Shavasana, the legs are as wide as the mat. Arms are about 45 degrees from the body, and traditionally the eyes close. Now, this is the toughest position for most people. What they like to do is they like to fidget. Actually, the goal of this posture is to hold still. But let's say you have lower back issues. If that's the case, you're welcome to bend your knees, walk your feet as wide as the mat, and come in knock-kneed. You're also welcome to come into what's called Supta Baddha Konasana, where the soles of the feet come together and the knees open wide. So finding that, getting rid of any extra fidgets right now, and then coming down and feel the support of the earth underneath you. Coming back to our theme about how we're like plants in these pots, and sometimes we outgrow the pot. It's time to change. It's time to move on. And to understand that it might be uncomfortable, but that we have the courage and strength to do that. We use the breath to navigate through uncomfortability so we find peace in the process. Now rest. Deepen your breath. Start to roll out your wrists and ankles, wiggle your fingers and toes. Bend the knees, place your feet on the floor. Roll to your right side, let your right arm serve as a pillow for your head. And pause here in the fetal position. You have 3 deep breaths here. Inhale very deeply. Let go. Inhale very deeply. Finding a palms are going to kiss at the top. Exhale, hands back to heart center. I always end my class with a round of Om. Nobody's around you probably in your house, so feel free to join me for a round of Om. We'll Om on the exhale. Inhaling. Once you're done with your Om, take a deep inhale and an exhale. What I wish for you is this. May you have the courage to move forward in your life. Even when you feel uncertain, take that step. You'd be surprised at the wings you grow when you take the leap. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to be with you today. Namaste.